the 12th of November. Join us via Zoom, Facebook, and YouTube as we discuss topics like surviving and thriving through the pandemic, investing in real estate, trade and investment opportunities in Uganda, alternative dispute resolution, business formalization, and inclusive resource mobilization for Uganda's economic independence. Don't miss out.
Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together.
Wait, Abu, tunamaliriza. And what are you doing throwing papers all over the place?
I'm looking for an invoice for a sound system and cables that I received yesterday, but I can't find it.
You know there is a way of keeping all this in one place and available to you as and when you need it.
I really wish there was one, because the way these invoices grow legs and disappear.
I believe this is what you're looking for.
Now how did it get there?
Tabo! Do you know that with EFRIS, you can stay on track of all your business transactions and improve on your record keeping?
How so?
Kati ku computer with EFRIS. I just search using the fiscal document number and I retrieve the records I'm looking for. Bookkeeping becomes simple after that.
Kapo, awesome, yeah.
I began using URS Kakasa Solutions and now I'm in charge of my business. And you can as well.
Kakasa, be sure you are in charge of your business.
Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together.
Kapo, you seem to be in a hurry. Where are you going to?
I'm gonna pay URA a visit.
Why would anyone visit URA? Of all places?
To know more about the Kakasa Business Solutions, namely digital tracking solution, the voluntary disclosure program and electronic fiscal receipting, and invoicing solution, which have turned my business around. You know I need to be on top of my game to protect my empire. If you know, you know.
I too need to know what Kapo knows.
Kakasa, be sure you are in charge of your business. Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together.
That's my little angel Rose. Together with millions of other children, my daughter Rose is assured of learning something new every day. Moses, my husband, just like many other commercial farmers, has his business supported so he can provide for us. When my other little one was on the way, even with my pregnancy complications, it was a quick, smooth ride to Mulago Specialized Women and Neonatal Hospital. Also, my new baby was able to make it through his first days with the help of specialized equipment thanks to the reliable electricity which has also been extended throughout the country. All this and more has been made possible because of you.
Join us and together let's do more for our country. Get your free tin at www.ura.go.ug.
Thank you for paying your taxes.
Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together.
In chess, the small one can become the big one. It's the same here. And here too. Watch every move. Record every number so you can plan better. No matter the size of your dream, tomorrow's success belongs to those who keep today's records clean. File your returns today.
Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together.
The Taxpayers Appreciation Season is here! We recognize, celebrate and award Uganda's top taxpayers. Be part of the online Bombaya Business Summits and stand a chance to win smartphones, gift sets, hampers and loads more. Visit our social media pages to find out more.
We appreciate you for paying your taxes. We're proud to be Ugandan. we appreciate you.
Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together.
The third edition of the Bombay Business Summit is here, starting at 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. every Friday from the 15th of October to the 12th of November. Join us via Zoom, Facebook, and YouTube as we discuss topics like surviving and thriving through the pandemic, investing in real estate, trade and investment opportunities in Uganda, alternative dispute resolution, business formalization, and inclusive resource mobilization for Uganda's economic independence. Don't miss out.
Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together.
Wait, Abu. Tunamaliriza. And what are you doing throwing papers all over the place?
I'm looking for an invoice for a sound system and cables that I received yesterday, but I can't find it.
You know there is a way of keeping all this in one place and available to you as and when you need it.
I really wish there was one, because the way these invoices grow legs and disappear.
I believe this is what you're looking for.
Now how did it get there?
Tabo! Do you know that with EFRIS, you can stay on track of all your business transactions and improve on your record keeping?
How so?
Katituli ku computer with EFRIS. I just search using the fiscal document number and I retrieve the records I'm looking for. Bookkeeping becomes simple after that.
Kapo, awesome, yeah.
I began using URS Kakasa Solutions and now I'm in charge of my business. And you can as well.
Kakasa, be sure you are in charge of your business.
Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together.
A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Myra Ocho, Manager Domestic Taxes. And with me in the studio today to discuss the topic, all you need to know about EFRIS, is Mr. Hassan Wasaja, a supervisor, domestic taxes. Hassan, you're most welcome.
Thank you, Myra. Good evening, viewers.
Hassan, the past 1 week, across the entire country, the word EFRIS has been a buzz. It sounds everywhere. There's a lot of noise. So can you break it down for the layman? What is this EFRIS? What is this EFRIS that is causing a lot of noise across the country?
Thank you, Myra. Now, EFRIS stands for Electronic Fiscal Receipting and Invoicing System. Now, this is a system that government has set out to make sure that you, the taxpayer who is conducting business, you are able to transmit your transactional details from your billing system or from any other invoicing option that you have decided to use and transmit the details to URA in real time.
So Hassan, is everybody eligible? I have my small shop, Mama Nalongo, I'm a small trader, I pay presumptive tax. Am I eligible to be on EFRIS?
For the starters, the government of Uganda has phased this implementation, and we have started with VAT registered taxpayers. Now, in URA, we have those that have been registered to pay or account for VAT, which is value addition tax. But even if you are not VAT registered, you can also come and use EFRIS because of the many benefits that we shall see later on. So Myra, for now, it is only those that are registered for VAT that are required by law to use EFRIS for every transaction that they perform. And this transaction relates to a supply. I have had cases where somebody says, for me, I will only issue an EFRIS invoice for products that attract 18%. No, it's not like that. When you are VAT registered, whether that product attracts or it attracts 0% or exempt, you are required to make sure that every transaction is submitted through EFRIS and remitted to URA in real time.
Now, Hassan, is it strictly that I must be VAT registered? I know that out there are some taxpayers who, when there is a new provision, they feel from being perhaps on this system. Are you saying if I am not VAT registered, I am not eligible to enroll on VAT registered?
Thank you, Maira. Now with EFRIS, as I mentioned earlier, that even if you are not VAT registered, you can voluntarily come onto EFRIS. And as I talk, we have over 15,000 taxpayers who are not VAT registered, but already they have seen the benefits of using EFRIS, and they have already connected onto EFRIS, and they are issuing e-receipts.
Hassan, thank you so much for that clarification. Now, the question is, the EFRIS, the noise or the vibe about it seems to have escalated in the last 1 week. Has the system just been implemented? When exactly did URA begin to implement EFRIS? Because it has been the talk of the town or the talk of the country in the last 1 week. Is it something that has just erupted?
Thank you, Maira. The government of Uganda, through URA, started the implementation of EFRIS in 2019. And we started by engaging the various stakeholders. And after the engagement, because the majority of the requirements that we implemented in EFRIS came from taxpayers. So it was very important that we start with the engagements. So after the engagements, we went into a second phase that we call the pilot phase. So the pilot phase started from January 2020 up to June. And after the pilot phase, the government of Uganda officially rolled out EFRIS on the 1st of July 2020. However, during that period, we all know that we got COVID. And because COVID came with disruptions, so many taxpayers were not ready to implement EFRIS, and they requested the Commissioner General to have an extension of 3 months. So it was the due date was extended from 1st of July 2020 to 1st of October 2020. But even on the 1st of October, the businessmen, through their umbrella organization, UMA, came and further engaged URA management for another grace period. And URA management gave them another 3 months grace period to make sure that they are given ample time to fully prepare and make sure that they are prepared enough to come and join EFRIS. Now, that means from July up to 31st December, URA management gave taxpayers 6 months to prepare. So, management officially now rolled out EFRIS for use effective 1st of July 2021. So effective January 2021, taxpayers started using EFRIS, and URA has also been very, very lenient. Because as I told you, we are supposed to start on 1st July 2020. Now the date was pushed to 1st of January 2021. But during that period, up to 1st of November, URA has not been enforcing. And that was deliberately designed to give this taxpayer ample time to make sure that they are ready to enroll onto EFRIS and come to make sure that everything moves on well as planned.
So Hassan, from your submission, it is quite clear that quite a lot of engagement and education has been going on to enable the taxpayers adopt this system. We have been joined by another panelist, Ms. Beatrice Muzali, Manager Enforcement, Domestic Taxes. Beatrice, you're most welcome.
Thank you, Myra.
Yes, you found when we had just begun to delve into EFRIS, because it is the talk of the town, or yes, as I may say, the talk of the country. Now, Hassan, URA has many systems. We've got e-tax, we've got Asikuda. With e-tax, all I have to do is go to the web portal, file my return, I have a TIN, I open a tax account. Walk a taxpayer through. What does it mean to get connected to EFRIS? Is it, I just go to the web portal? How simple is it?
Thank you. Viewers, URA has given you various options to make sure that you comply with EFRIS and with a lot of ease. The first option that we have given you is if you already have your billing system, what you need is only and only to connect your billing system with EFRIS. And once the two are connected, you will continue to use your billing system, but each receipt, each invoice that you print from your billing system will be automatically transmitted to URA and in real time. Now, when you are using your billing system, we have also empowered you with the capacity to use what we call the offline mode. Now, this offline mode, viewers, helps you to make sure that you continue with your billing uninterrupted, even if you have intermittent network challenges in transmitting the information to URA. So as long as your system is up and running, you will continue to invoice, and the system has been designed in such a way that it is automatically recognizing that, yes, there is no network. Let me now invoice from offline mode. There is network, let me go back to online. You, the taxpayer, with your billing system, you do not have to do anything. That one has been done or provided for by the government of Uganda. So that check is already inbuilt with EFRIS. What you need to do is continue to generate your invoices. So that is the first option. And that first option of system to system is convenient for taxpayers that have many invoices. For example, if you are a supermarket, we have all gone to supermarkets. As and when I am moving out, the attendant is able to print my receipt. So if you have many invoices, we advise that you connect via system to system, because every transaction will be automatically sent to URA. I want us to, moderator, to have just a sample of just that invoice that you will print when you are using your system to system. Now, this is a format of your invoice. So, you know the first one? That one. So what we are saying, do not change the format of your invoice. Continue to use your format. However, on your invoice, we are requesting you to get space in a prominent area and add 3 items. The first item is the URA invoice number that the majority know as the fiscal document number. The second is the verification code. If we can zoom, I don't know whether we can zoom, such that we can see the fiscal document number. Then the verification code. Now the verification code is simply a serial number. In the event that probably your printer had challenges and you cannot clearly see the FDN, you can use the verification code to retrieve the FDN or the URA invoice number and the QR code. We shall talk about the details of the invoice later. So that is the first option. And the beauty with it is, one, you continue to use your system. You have the offline mode.
So I do not have to invest in a new enterprise resource planning system within my business.
Exactly.
All I do is link up.
Link up. Then we have also lined up a list of 19 integrators or Ugandans that have got the knowledge of linking your system to any other system in the world.
So we have a Bubu component.
Yes.
Bubu supporting our own software engineers.
Yes, to
and
develop
they can
capacity.
Get you connected.
Yes. So we have a list of 19, and you can go to the URA web portal, which is ura.go.ug. Under e-services, you click on list of agents, you'll be able to download a list of integrators. The majority there are Ugandans, and they have been able to connect the various systems. Now that is the first option. The second option we are giving you is, if you do not have a system, the government of Uganda has given you a billing system using the web portal. And what you only need is your TIN and password. The moment you have your TIN and password, you will be able to log onto EFRIS and generate your invoice. The third option that we are giving taxpayers who do not have billing systems is what we call a desktop application. So there are some taxpayers who interacted or engaged us that what happened is, if I want to invoice, but I cannot access the URA portal. Now, the government of Uganda gave you another avenue of downloading a software or a system that you will install on your computer, and the moment you have it installed, you do not need to go to the web portal. What you only need to do is to click on that icon, invoicing. The moment you click on that icon, you will be required to log in, and once you log in, you will be able to generate your invoice. Now, the beauty with these two options is there are many taxpayers who have been looking around for billing systems. How do I comply with URA? How does URA facilitate me to keep my records? Now, URA has given you two options where you can go and use those options as your billing systems. Another option that URA is lining up for you is what we call the Ussd option. Now, there are taxpayers who will say, I do not have a computer. The options you have listed are very good, but my business, I have not got enough capital to purchase a computer. So URA is in the final stages of giving you what we call the Ussd option. So whether you have a smartphone or a non-smartphone, yes, Mapesa, you'll be able to dial star something, go to URA and click generate an invoice, and you'll be able to generate your invoice with ease. Now we are looking at somebody at Kaduka, that Kaduka of yours, where you go and buy corrugate, even saloon, even the fisherman at the lake. How do we make it easy for them to comply? Because we all know they might not be having smartphones, But with your Pesa, you are able to dial star something, and we shall give you the code when we finalize the process. And once you're there, you'll be able to generate your invoice. Now, that is under e-invoicing. You can see that URA has given you various options. But there are also other two options. The second option that we are giving you is the electronic fiscal devices, EFDs. Now, in the region, that is Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, for them they are using the EFDs. And I've heard many people saying, yes, why don't you also bring EFDs?
Yes.
I want to inform the general public that before the financial year ends, we shall be having EFDs. And with your EFD, you also be able to generate your invoice, both in online and offline mode. However, the EFD will be at a cost, and I know many taxpayers have said, yes, for us we are willing to pay, provided you bring the device. So before the financial year, we shall be having the EFDs on the market. Then the last option that we are giving is what we call the electronic dispenser controller. Now, these are technical words, but I don't want you to get confused with the technical word. It is just a solution that has been designed specifically for the fuel stations, because we want to make sure that as and when you go Maira to purchase fuel, you are automatically given an e-receipt. And the moment the pump attendant releases the nozzle back to the pump, the receipt will be automatically generated. And the beauty why we are introducing all this is that, Maira, with EFRIS, we want you, the final consumer, you the buyer, to get involved. And the government of Uganda has gone ahead to provide for an incentive for you to demand for your receipt. The government of Uganda has given you a refund. I know many people are not even aware that you are a refunds.
Harrison, you need to elucidate more on that rebate, because this is something that came in the tax amendments or the provisions that the Honorable Minister announced this financial year. But I believe most of the viewers are not conversant. How do I benefit from this? Me, a final consumer, how do I get a rebate when I demand for my fiscalized invoice or receipt?
Okay. You, the final consumer, what you only need to do is make sure that you only and only purchase from those that are issuing e-receipts or e-invoices. And what the government of Uganda has done is that if you purchase in a month, that is 30 days, goods or items worth 5 million and above, or if I have my one invoice of 2 million, I also purchase another invoice of 800,000. But if I accumulate my invoices in 30 days, my total or the gross amount is 5 million and above. So the government of Uganda will refund you the 5% of the tax that you have been charged. So I want to encourage all viewers to make sure that you demand for your invoices and you also get your refund. Because for us, we believe that once you are involved, you will be able to, one, make sure that the tax that you have been charged has been remitted to URA. You will also make sure that this tax has been accounted for, because we all see people saying government etuyambe ngudombi. So how will government fix the roads when there is no tax? So we want to make sure that, one, You, the buyer, we have empowered you to make sure that you demand for your receipt, and once you demand for your receipt, you'll be sure that yes, I have been charged tax and tax has been remitted. And therefore government will also have enough money to do infrastructure development.
So thank you so much, Hassan. I can see there's a variety of options that the taxpayer can use. Some of them are cost-free. Now, Beatrice, I'm going to get to you in a minute. Okay. But we are in hard times of COVID, and I now have to pay an integrator and get connected to EFRIS. How am I going to, is government giving me anything back when I incur this cost? Because the cost of doing business is quite high. What is in it for me? When I connect to the system, will I be able to recoup this expenditure? Why should I invest? Why?
Thank you, Maira. I have had that question a couple of times. But as I've explained, one, that when you look at EFRIS is just an enabler to ease the way you're doing business, to ease the compliance. And with all the options that I've listed, you will find that the government of Uganda has really put in to make sure that you have all the options. And when it comes to the cost of the integration, one, that cost is paid by the government in the long run. I know in the short run, yes, you'll get the money and pay the integrator. But in the long run, government has told you that the amount that you incur
yes,
will be a deductible expense. So it means it is the government of Uganda that is paying for your integration. I've also heard people saying, yes, why doesn't government pay up front?
Outright, yeah.
Now the reason why government cannot do that is because the cost of adjusting my system, that small change, okay, might be a big change when it comes to Maira. So government cannot now say that, you know, the cost of integration is 1 million. What if for me, the designers of my system are in Germany?
So it's not a uniform cost. Government can't pronounce itself and say, I will pay 6 million for each person because it is a case.
A case, yes.
By case.
Yes, yes. And what government is saying, for you incur this cost, but you'll be able
to recoup it.
Yes.
Which is a very good thing. In other words, technically, you'll get back whatever you invested. I believe this will encourage our viewers who had this worry about spending money and not getting it back.
Exactly.
Now, Beatrice, human beings, we are inherently selfish. Usually, when something happens, it is people ask themselves, what is in it for me? Funirawa. So I want to put yourself in the shoes of first the taxpayer, the VAT taxpayer. What is in it for them when they get onto EFRIS? What is in it for Uganda Revenue Authority? And what is in it for me? No longer the final consumer. I just buy things. They give me money for Kameza. I shop. I mean, so there's EFRIS. What is in it for me?
Thank you, Nalongo. Beatrice Mazali. On the side of the VAT client, there is quick processing of the refunds, because now all your input tax will have been captured on the system by the person who has sold to you. So the refund will be automatically processed and it will take less time. There will no longer be the manual verification of your refunds for you to get your payment. And also even your expenses that go beyond the 5 million where you're supposed to have a registered person, all that information will be captured and there will be that auto verification side by side on that. Then on the side of URA, processing the processing this side, but you're the beneficiary the other side. That process is as quick as instant processing. So the returns will also be auto-filed for you because the information, if you sell it, will be captured.
So our staff get involved in more value-adding activities to do better service delivery because they now have information at the tip of their fingers.
They will be more of facilitating you to comply, guiding you, encouraging you, teaching you what is required, maybe the new things that are coming on board, other than taking time to verify your return, because it will be auto-filed. As you transact, we are picking the information. So you'll only get a message at the end of the period, is this the information, can you submit? When you say yes, it's just a click of a button and the return will be at URAs. So URA will spend more time into managing the issues where you are having challenges and giving you aid than verifying whether what you're submitting is actually correct, because it's being picked in real time.
So no exaggerated assessments. At least if an assessment is raised, it's now raised on information that is valid.
Yeah, because these estimates, like when you don't file or in case there's a challenge, we've been like, it has not been easy to ascertain your real sales, but if you're on EFRIS, it is easy. If the assessment you get, it will be correct by your side and also by the side of the tax administrator. So this hustle and haggle, even the time we spend in objecting and moving around will be limited, because all the information will be picked directly from your sales point to the tax administrator's end. And then to the consumer, as you have been
me
told,
who was given Kameza money, really all I do is shop.
Is shop.
Yes.
There is a rebate, and I think soon we shall also be running some campaigns. So the government intends to give back to the people who are actually supporting in enforcing on this solution, because even me as a consumer, I am very interested, as it has been mentioned, to ensure that the taxes that I pay reach their final destination for me to get the service that I need. So there are other campaigns that will come on board to make sure that the people who have been active in this process are also rewarded with some gifts through lotteries, but mainly the rebate also is very key, because getting back the 5% of the 18% is not a small thing.
Yeah, and back to school is coming.
I know.
Some of us have children going into S1. You can see the shopping list. Yes, I think
so.
there's a lot to be gained when you go to a supermarket or to a shop that is VAT enrolled. You will be able to get back.
I actually beseech the client, the consumers, to start actually compiling their receipts, because in that period of, as it has been mentioned, of 30 days, for you to bring back your total amount of 5 million and you get paid. So by now people should have started, because it's already in the law.
Within a 30-day
period, you should have started compiling all our vouchers such that we start pursuing this rebate, because it's already provided for in the tax laws.
I'm certainly going to take advantage during the Christmas shopping. Now, the weekend before the countrywide enforcement activities happened, I happened to get a WhatsApp message, and it was like, rush to supermarket X because your points are going to expire. URA has brought a new system. Now, I tend to be one of those people who enjoy those points. I don't know about you. Does the coming of EFRIS mean I will no longer enjoy these discounts, these benefits?
No, it's actually not true. The owner can still configure their billing system to allow the discounts. This process is just meant to capture what you're selling. First of all, you are the seller, you have a record of whatever you've sold, and you only just configure the discount like in your normal system the way it has been. There is provision for you to configure the discount so that you don't even lose your clients on that benefit, the ones that are benefiting from their discounts out of the purchases they make. So it is not true that the discount system goes away with EFRIS. No.
Okay.
It's not true.
Just to add on
yes,
that, Myra, is that one, EFRIS, the change that we are bringing with EFRIS is you have been submitting this information in a manual way. But with EFRIS, the change is submit the same information electronically and in real time. That is the change. So it means if the item has been 10,000 and you have been offering discounts, you have been offering points, you will still item at 10,000 and still continue with your points and with your discounts. And therefore, it is not true that the introduction of EFRIS takes away your points. And we have seen supermarkets that are already on EFRIS and they have continued with their points.
Now, Hassan, I'm going to pick it up from there. You're getting my data in real time. How safe is my information with you? You know, I've got competitors. Allay my fears that the information you're picking from my business is safe and my business will be safe.
Thank you, Maira. As I mentioned, that you have been submitting this information.
In a return, yes. I log on in eTax.
Yes, and you have been submitting
Yes.
to URA for the many years. And URA has what we call confidentiality clauses. And using the return arrangement, the manual way, we have maintained your data with the confidentiality clauses. So the same way we are receiving the real-time, the electronic data, we still promise our viewers that we shall maintain the confidentiality clauses, and we have the capability, one, to track who is accessing this data. Because in URA, not everybody will access that information. This information is only accessed by authorized officers to check the information. But the most important thing is the data is safe, and what we only requesting is data related to the transaction that you have performed. Not everything. It is only data that is related to your transaction, and it will be safe as you have been keeping it for the many years.
So viewers, you've heard it for yourselves. Your data is safe. URA has data standards, and they will ensure that none of your data is used for wrong purposes. Now, Beatrice, back to you. I have on several occasions, at times in a supermarket, a hardware store, or even a restaurant, asked for a fiscalized invoice, and only to be sent to the cashier, and she tells me, I need your TIN. Now, I'm a final consumer. I'm in a hurry. Need I, and some of us memory, not a good thing. I really don't have my TIN memorized. Besides, at times my children, who are not yet taxpayers, may go out to a restaurant and I tell them, I want you to come back with a receipt. They don't have TINs. So is it a requirement that for me to get a fiscalized invoice, as a final consumer, I must give them a tax identification number?
Thank you, Myra. It's actually, you don't need a TIN to issue a fiscalized invoice. All you need is to capture the transaction the way it has happened. So it is not a mandate that all the purchasers that come to your supermarket, your business, all the people in your restaurants, your clients should have TINs. So we've just observed that this is just coming through as, I don't know, an excuse or a way of tarring and delaying compliance by those that are supposed to comply, our taxpayers. But the truth is that you do not need a TIN for you to have the invoice captured. You just scan what you've sold and the receipts comes out. Those that have TINs, they can also provide them because they probably intend to claim. So you don't need a TIN to be issued an e-invoice.
Beatrice, I'll get back to you in a short while, especially regarding the current exercise that is going on, enforcement in supermarkets. But Hassan, you had earlier shared about the e-invoice. Now, this question comes quite often. People need to know, what are those key things that I need to look out for to know that this invoice is fiscalized? Someone shared a picture with me again on WhatsApp, and there was this receipt, and it had just been written on e-receipt. So she was inquiring whether this was an e-receipt. It just had the word e-receipt. Is that all it takes? Can you break it down for our viewers so that they know what an e-receipt or an e-invoice must have? And in this day and age, whereby things can be printed at a certain street that I will not mention, how do I verify that indeed this is a genuine e-invoice?
Okay, thank you, Myra. we have two invoice formats. The first format that we accept is the one printed from the URA portal.
Can this be projected for better understanding of our viewers?
Okay.
It would be a good thing. Yeah.
You can first project, I think, the first one, the same, but no, another one. That one. Now, this is the one that you will get each time you go to the portal to validate, to confirm, or to generate, or to print. You will get this format. Now, we have structured this format in sections. There is section A up to section F. I will break it down. Now, that invoice has a URA logo and the word e-invoice or tax invoice. Now, when we talk about moderator tax invoice, now there are features that are required by law to be on that invoice. Then we also enable you as the seller using the portal to upload your logo. So if you have your logo, you will be able to upload it and it will be on that invoice. Just, I think, above section A, that's where your logo as a seller will be. And in the system, you can set it, you can upload it, or you can even pull it down. So the choice is yours. Now, section A captures what we call seller's details. Moderator?
Yes.
Seller's details. I want to make sure
that people
yes, are
following. Are seeing, because this is a very critical thing right now, especially given we are insisting that people need to ask for fiscalized invoices. It's critical that they know what they are, what it looks like.
So section A has seller's information. And the system will automatically pick your information because as you are unloading onto EFRIS, your information is already captured. Then there is section B that has what we call the fiscal information. Now that's where we are going to find the FDN and the verification code.
Can you break down what's FDN? FDN is what?
FDN stands for URA invoice number or fiscal document number.
Okay.
So in
That's
simple
clear.
terms, it is the URA invoice number.
That's now clear.
Then we have a verification code. As I said, the verification code is simply a serial number. In the event that your printer had challenges and one of the digits is not clear, so you can use the verification code to retrieve the FDN. Then it has the time. It has the time when the invoice has been issued. It also has a day when the invoice has been issued. Then there is section C that talks about buyer's information. Now here we display minimal information, that's the TIN and your name. But most important is section D, and I want all viewers to pay attention to section D. Now section D has the items, the quantity, a unit of measure, and tax category. Now quantity, we all know it is just the quantity that you have bought, the items. Then I have heard the moderator people saying EFRIS doesn't allow discount. I think the viewers can see that line item number 2 has a discount.
Yes.
I have also had some people claiming that I cannot have many line items on an invoice. I want to inform viewers that we accept up to 1,000 line items on a particular invoice. Then there is category, tax category. Now we have simplified or summarized this information. And the reason why we are putting a tax category is we want to empower you as the buyer to know that if you have been charged the tax will be limited to URA. By saying that item number 1 is standard rated. So that's why it has A, but when we go to section E, we clearly tell you that A stands for standard rated. It has the net amount and the tax that has been charged. It also goes ahead to talk about category B, which is zero rated. Category C, which is exempt. It also goes ahead to talk about the deeming. Those who have been said, if empowers you, the buyer that has that facility, that when you have been given that facility, you will be charged VAT, but you will not pay VAT because the tax there, the VAT there, has been deemed to have been paid. Another important thing that we need to note is that for those who are charging excise duty, the invoice you print, I need to have the invoice very clear. The invoice you print will be showing excise duty, and that is category E. And when you go now to F, section F, it now gives you the summary of the gross amount, the total tax that has been remitted to URA, and the currency and the number of items. I want now to call upon the viewers to make sure that, one, if you have been charged the tax of 3 million, but you have an invoice showing that you have been charged the tax of 1 million, please report to URA, because we want to make sure that this EFRIS is as transparent as possible. That's why we are giving you all this. Then also, EFRIS supports issuance of invoices in foreign currency. I've heard that. I want us to display the invoice in USD. Because a moderator, I've heard people saying
that
EFRIS only allows the
Uganda shillings. So this is not true.
So you can generate an invoice in foreign currency. I want us to display the second invoice, that one. You can see that when you go to section F, there is currency, and the currency is USD. But we go ahead also to provide you with the exchange rate.
Because we transact in Ugandan shillings. And even as URA,
as
this is the Ugandan,
yes,
we are counting.
as you are accounting for that tax. We are telling you that at the time you account for tax, or you account for this transaction, this is the exchange rate that you will use. So we provide for dollars, pounds, there's a list of foreign currency. So it's not true, moderator, that you cannot generate EFRIS invoices in foreign currency. Then I want also to go to the second type, where I have my billing system, but I cannot now change to adapt the URA format, because in some businesses, I want to tell you viewers that it is costly to change the format. And that's why URA was very flexible, that yes, EFRIS has come, but it shouldn't cause a major disruption to your business. So that's why we allowed you to continue with your invoice, but find space and provide 3 things. One, the fiscal document number, which you have been saying, that is the URA invoice. Like this invoice we are seeing here. It has the fiscal document number, it has the verification code, and the QR code. Now, a QR code will be used by you, the buyer, to confirm whether this invoice is valid or not. So we have provided Myra a verification app that can be downloaded from Google.
And us who are iPhone users, what's there for us?
Yes, you can also go to your platform. I think it is called the
that store,
App Store.
Yes.
You'll be able to download the Ask URA app. And once you download the Ask URA app, you'll be able to go and check the option of EFRIS. And once you are there, you'll get the scanning that will help you to scan this QR code. And the moment you scan the QR code, then you'll be able to see whether this invoice is valid and with amounts and particulars.
So I know how much tax I paid.
Yes. Then In addition, we are giving you, the buyer, okay, the option of reporting. Through that app, you are able to report that, wait a minute, for me when I paid 5 million as gross amount. This sale has captured 3 million. So you are able to report, and we promise you that once you report, the confidentiality aspect comes in, because we want to make sure that the tax you have been charged has been remitted. Then another additional feature in terms of the validation app, or the confirming whether the invoice is valid, is using the same app, you can be able to type in the fiscal document number or the URL invoice, and you will still be able to see the invoice. Then for those that can also validate from the portal, we have also given you that avenue. You can go to the portal, punch in the fiscal document number, and you'll be able to confirm that this invoice is valid or not valid. But most important, I want to urge our viewers to pay particular attention to the details on the invoice, because once the details are not the same, it means somebody has charged you tax and he has not remitted the tax. And therefore, if that tax has not been remitted, it means that the government of Uganda will not have enough resources to contribute to national development.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we must develop Uganda together. As a patriotic citizen, you must ensure that any tax that you pay as you shop is accounted for, and then there we shall be able to improve our social services. Now, Beatrice, the hard one. This is the hard one. Over the last week, we have seen increased presence of URA staff at various supermarkets across the country. As I come out, they ask me for my receipt, they scan it. So what led to this? And why supermarkets? Because Hassan shared that EFRIS is here for every VAT registered taxpayer. And we've got hotels, we've got saloons, we've got hardware shops. So why supermarkets at this time? What were those offenses that, and what are those offenses that a VAT taxpayer needs to avoid, lest they be the next?
Okay, thank you, moderator. You are in the process of managing compliance. We follow the phased approach. We are proactive, but for those that choose to go the other way, we also come in to bring in some additional measures to ensure we have this compliance. When I look at the history of the inception of this solution, EFRIS, since July 2020, we have been engaging, training, hand-holding, and ensuring that our taxpayers get on board.
And I believe the stakeholder engagements continue on a weekly basis.
Yes, and actually we still have them on a weekly basis. Every week at the URA office, we have the stakeholder engagements and trainings, actually every Friday.
It's now Thursday, and I really encourage viewers that when you are invited, kindly do make your way to Sendaula Hall, because the teams are there to facilitate you, and it is cost-free.
So, moderator, we've been at this since July 2020, and then also with the extension that was provided, because the taxpayers came forward and mentioned challenges of integration, changing their systems. So an extension was given up to January 2020. So even then, as we gave the extension, we didn't move into enforce immediately. We still listened to the people and ensured that they get on board.
Because we're in a difficult time.
Yes,
we're in the midst
COVID
of the pandemic.
And all those challenges. So we stretched this to July. We're actually supposed to start enforcing under the solution in July, but we still extended it to November. So about the recent activities, we normally monitor our compliance. And when we review our compliance, we realize that the EFRIS adoption has been a bit low. So when we break down that analysis, we saw that in our sector approach method, we saw that the supermarkets were ranking high in the non-compliance, and yet they have a lot of linkages around them. They connect to the suppliers, the manufacturers, because when everyone manufactures and produces, brings their product on board, it has to be sold. So there was an issue of the compliance levels. And also secondly, the engagements that have been held. The supermarkets were the first actually to be engaged. They were given a lot of time, a lot of trainings for them to get on board. And also, most of them have the systems that can connect easily to the URA system. So as we enforce, it's not that we're only looking at the supermarkets. No. We have to go to the hardwares. Everyone who is in the VAT registration bracket and move outside the VAT registration bracket to the other areas. But mainly the offenses that prompt our actions to make sure that we look through into it is that we've observed in most cases, as you said, when you ask for your receipt at the supermarket, they ask you 13. Something that we have engaged over and told the people that it's not actually mandatory to ask 13. The non-issuance, there are those that have just chosen not to even mind about the solution.
You can see them that they are connected, but they are not issuing.
There are those that are connected and are not issuing. Even there are those who have chosen not to connect. And they are just making their sales. Then we have those that have failed to issue in real time. What they do, they sell during that day, and because URA is flexible, it gave you all the options
offline,
online, and even submitting anytime. They wait in the night when the business has closed. Then they put all the receipts together and submit at once.
Something we call lumping.
They lump up, they aggregate sales. Some of the people aggregating and selling once, submitting once a week. So these are all the issues that prompted the action at the supermarkets. So what we did, we ensured that everyone who gets out asks for their receipt, of course the buyer, and then we capture and we want to verify, are they fiscalized, are they not? Are they not fiscalized? And you know, in the compliance pyramid, even those that, as we encourage and bring on board and facilitate those that are complying, in the same way we also have to offer some treatment to those that are not complying, those that have refused and those that do not want to comply. We also have measures for them.
So really, it is not a witch hunt.
No, it's not a witch hunt.
And as URA, we really do as much as we can to ensure that we make complying as easy as possible. So I would like to encourage any viewer out there who is supposed to be on EFRIS, approach your nearest office or our call center, or when you're invited for any of these engagements, please come. We are here to support you. Enforcement is not our default, but we really would want to reach out and support, as Hassan shared. Get to the web portal, see who the integrators are, and get yourself connected. Now, as we come to a close, I recall there is a public notice that went out that the returns, commencing 1st November, the VAT returns, if I do want to benefit for a refund, I will have to ensure that all my input VAT has been captured and is supported by a fiscalized invoice. What message are you giving our viewers to ensure that come December, as they are filing their November return, they are not inconvenienced?
Thank you, moderator. We really encourage our clients to make sure that when they are purchasing, let them insist on getting that physical receipt. Because you know, input tax leverages on what you pay to URA. Because the VAT mechanism is input minus output is the VAT payable. If it's a positive, it's a payable. If it's a negative, there's a claimable, which is either a refund or an offset. So with that public notice that went out, we encourage all our clients, everyone who is VAT registered, who intends to claim a refund, for easier processing, to make sure that you get that fiscalized receipt. And also, in case you're having challenges and there are those people that consistently you're purchasing from and they are not giving you the fiscalized receipt, please report. You come across to URA, to your tax office, and then you also on the toll-free line, report these people such that we can also, in the process of compliance, manage and ensure that they get on board. But I encourage you to make sure that you purchase on fiscalized invoices, such that you are in position to claim to benefit from the refund by that date.
Thank you very much, Beatrice. As we come to a close, I would like Hassan first to give a few words to the viewers, and then yourself, and then we will call it a day. I do believe today has been quite fruitful. You have given some insight about some of those tricky areas, but a last remark or two to our dear viewers.
Thank you, Myra, and the viewers for the time you have given us. My parting shots, one is that for all my friends that got involved in the IT industry, and also my friends at the university, URA has given you an opportunity to develop invoicing systems and link them to EFRIS. So it is an opportunity for you, one, to make money, but also to ensure that these taxpayers are complying. The second is URA, for those that cannot physically come to URA, URA has uploaded, I think, 6 videos onto the web portal. They are self-learning videos. You can download them at the comfort of your home and listen or get to know how I can generate an invoice. How do I validate and confirm that this invoice is valid or not valid? So the videos have been uploaded. You just go to ura.go.ug, click on e-invoicing, go to user guides, and you'll be able to see a list of those videos. The third, I have many. The third is I want to encourage the final consumers, the buyers, to always demand for a fiscalized invoice, for the fiscalized receipt. It is not fair for you to pay your tax and that tax is not remitted to government. It is my appeal that please only and only purchase from those that will give you a fiscalized invoice. And also, if I'm a final consumer, if government has given me the ability to get my rebate, to get my tax refund, why don't I use it? So it is my appeal that all consumers, you should insist on having a fiscalized invoice. I think in the interest of time, let me stop there. I want to thank the moderator for the wonderful session.
Thank you, Hassan. Now, Beatrice, your parting shots to our
Thank you, Myra. I really want to first appreciate all those taxpayers that have chosen to get on board. We really have a number that have gotten on board, and it's encouraging on how in this period even of enforcement, many have been proactive and they are actually at the different stages of integration. Please keep it up, and in case you have any challenges, kindly visit our offices. I am the manager enforcement. Of course, I'm in charge of ensuring the existing adherence to all the tax laws, but as URA, our default is not enforcement. We only pull out that stick when the things have gotten out of hand, but we encourage you to actually comply. We are there to support you, and also for as the consumers, please ensure you're part of this enforcement process. Ensure you demand the receipts so that we get everyone in line and we move more smoothly. Thank you so much, moderator.
Thank you, Beatrice. Dear viewers, we've come to the end of our tax lounge today. It's been an absolute pleasure engaging with you online, and I encourage you to approach any URA office in case you need assistance. If you're invited for any of our engagements regarding EFRIS, please do turn up. We've got a call center, and we are also available on WhatsApp. Please use all these platforms. Get your questions answered. We are here to serve you. Have an awesome Tuesday. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any of our engagements regarding EFRIS, please do turn up. We've got a call center, and we are also available on WhatsApp. Please use all these platforms. Get your questions answered. We are here to serve you. Have an awesome Tuesday. Thank you.
The Taxpayers Appreciation Season is here. We recognize, celebrate, and award Uganda's top taxpayers. Be part of the online Bombaya Business Summits and stand the chance to win smartphones, gift sets, hampers, and loads more. Visit our social media pages to find out more.
Appreciate you for paying your taxes. We're proud to be Ugandans. Oh, we celebrate you. We appreciate you.
Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together.
The third edition of the Bombay Business Summit is here, starting at 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. every Friday from the 15th of October to the 12th of November. Join us via Zoom, Facebook, and YouTube as we discuss topics like surviving and thriving through the pandemic, investing in real estate, trade and investment opportunities in Uganda, alternative dispute resolution, business formalization, and inclusive resource mobilization for Uganda's economic independence. Don't miss out from October to 12th of November. Join us via Zoom, Facebook, and YouTube as we discuss topics like surviving and thriving.
Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together.
Alternative dispute resolution, business formalization,
Wait up, tunamaliriza.